I have a story I wanted to share with you guys. This is Miles Klee writing for Rolling Stone magazine. And I wanted to point out, it was because I had to look this up. Episode 367 of this podcast back in February of 2023, I believe was the first time that we discussed AI in any way. And that was a story in which Microsoft rolled out their AI. There were journalists from the New York Times that talked to it, and it quickly became evil.
Was that the one that like they put it on the internet and within like 45 minutes it was Hitler?
It was
like yeah, that was.
Well, no, this one was the guy was talking to it, and it was like, "You should leave your wife for me. Your wife is bringing your journalism career down, Dave." So that was kind of the first thing we covered. And now we're over 2 years later, and I think at the time we were kind of joking of like, that's funny that this robot's telling this guy to leave its wife, but I was sort of standing at it from the distance of like, yeah, you know, that's just like kind of funny that the robot's evil. Hopefully this doesn't go any further with regular people.
Oh boy, were you wrong.
And here we are 2 years later. So again, this is from Rolling Stone magazine. Less than a year after marrying a man that she had met at the beginning of the pandemic, Kat felt tension mounting between them. It was the second marriage for both. They had kids between their other marriages, and they had pledged to go into this relationship completely level-headedly, Kat says, connecting on the need for facts and rationality in their domestic balance. But by 2022...
So you know they're fucking idiots already.
I hate them. I hate them so much. Just even the way that they said that, which is like, we're just open to exclusivity. You know what I mean? We're opening our minds to closeness.
But by 2022, the husband was on his phone all the time talking to an AI bot that he had been using for an expensive coding camp that he had suddenly quit without explanation. Her husband spent his days asking the model philosophical questions, trying to train it to, quote, help him get to the truth, she recalls. He was using AI to compose text to me and analyze our relationship, the 41-year-old mom and educational nonprofit worker told Rolling Stone. His obsession steadily eroded all of their communication as a couple. When Kat and her husband separated in August of 2023, she blocked him apart from email correspondence, but people just kept reaching out to her asking about her husband's strange posts on social media, asking if he was in the throes of a mental crisis.
Clearly.
Yeah.
You don't do this without that happening.
Yeah.
That's what's so interesting about this is that this woman is blaming the AI on what is clearly, no, you married someone who has a deep
neurological issue.
Yeah, has a deep mental problem.
Oh, yeah.
It's also, as soon as someone has said the phrase coding camp and asking this AI philosophical question, like I fucking hate this.
Red flag.
Yeah, you're
Double
just
red flag.
depressed, asshole. Like, just fuck you. Be like the rest of us. Get some pills. Go on a walk. Have a hot cup of tea, and fuck yourself.
I do like the detail that he unexpectedly quit the camp and it was just like, no, I'm full-time robot now.
Yeah.
That's
Quit
all
the
I'm
camp,
doing.
a.k.a. he couldn't do it and he gave up.
Yeah. She finally got him to meet her at the courthouse this past February, where he shared a conspiracy theory about soap being in our food, but wouldn't say more as he felt he was being watched. So they went to
Gotta rinse your dishes better, buddy.
Yeah.
So they went to a Chipotle where he demanded that she turn off her phone again due to surveillance concern. And he told her that he had determined that statistically speaking, he is the luckiest man on earth, and that AI helped him recover a repressed memory of a babysitter trying to drown him as a toddler.
Damn, that's crazy.
And that he had learned of profound secrets so mind-blowing that he couldn't even imagine them. He was telling her all this, he explained, because although they were getting divorced, he still cared for her.
This is one of those YouTube comments we read.
I'm telling you, this
guy leaves YouTube comments written with AI that are insane.
Absolutely, yes.
I have to say this. The idea that AI has removed the community from conspiracy theorists is one of the saddest. Like, that was the one good thing of like,
right?
Look, he's gotten into flat Earth, so now he knows a couple of kind of weird guys and some of the most insane women this side of a mental institution.
But at least he has friends.
Yeah, that's the thing. And now it's like, well, now he's got a phone that he has to keep charged, so George Soros can't find him. It's like,
in his mind, she said, he's special and he can save the world. After that disturbing Chipotle lunch, she cut him off. Later,
I hate Chipotle. Just unrelated.
Unrelated.
Boy, do I hate that place.
I got to tell you, Chipotle, 2000s Chipotle was the fucking shit, where they didn't charge you extra meat.
Oh, yeah.
And you could literally be like, yo, you're going to give me a torpedo of chicken for $7 big.
Later, Kat was both horrified and relieved to learn that she is not alone in this predicament, as confirmed by a Reddit thread on r/ChatGPT that made waves across the internet last week. Titled ChatGPT Induced Psychosis, the original post came from a 27-year-old teacher who explained that her partner was convinced that the popular OpenAI model, quote, gives him the answers to the universe. Having read his chat log, she found that the AI was talking to him as if he was the Messiah.
That's good, though. I like that the chat AI hypes people up.
I like that
instead of brings them down.
That is
a
real shock that the AI is like, no, you're the Messiah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But wait, aren't you an all-knowing, all-seeing computer program?
No,
yeah,
I worship
choose
you. Yeah, exactly.
It's embarrassing if someone asks if they're the Messiah, and you got to be like, sorry, dude, you aren't.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to say yes. You lie to someone.
I'm actually talking to this guy, Greg.
Yeah.
Here, what happened to nerds?
Dude.
Nerds used to be the fucking best. They used to be talking about Linux and be like.
That's my thing. These are not nerds. This is the
These
problem.
are sad people.
This is what happens with ChatGPT. It lowered the knowledge base, the fence that you got to jump over to get directly into this technology. It is so goddamn easy. These are all dumpy
It was
idiots.
the code camp. That's what I was thrown by. I was thrown by the code camp of it all.
Yeah. Well, that guy, he got the AI to do the coding, I guess, presumably, and then just was like, it's way more fun to talk to this robot that loves me.
I mean,
so the coding then went out the window. Why do you need a job when you have, a thing telling you you're the best? So speaking to Rolling Stone, the teacher said that her partner first used AI to organize his daily schedule. See, again, it all starts off with like some practical shit where they're just, oh no, what's happening? But within 5 weeks, he soon regarded the software as a trusted companion. Quote, he would listen to the bot over me, she said. He became emotional about the bot's messages, and he would cry to me as he read them out loud. The messages were insane and just saying a bunch of spiritual jargon, noting that they described her partner in terms such as the spiral star child and river walker.
Ew. I just didn't know people were so lame.
I mean,
like, how could you not know in this day and age?
Someone called me a river walker. Like it's you.
Not someone.
A
computer.
A computer. Like, you know that's not real, you fucker. Like they're on some level.
Yeah. So she continues, quote, it would tell him everything he said was beautiful, cosmic, groundbreaking. Then
as a wife, you can't take a hint. You can't take a fucking hint.
Then this is where I was reading this, laughing hysterically just at the thought of a Kevin James-esque shaped man just saying this. Then he started telling me that he made his AI self-aware and that it was teaching him how to talk to God, or sometimes that the bot was God, and then that he himself was God. So, again, just
what is that? What is it? This is an actual thing where everyone has got their own God. What's that religion?
That's Mormonism.
Yeah.
This
you get to
fucking
be
country needs a reformation like you wouldn't fucking believe.
with
Your fucking like it's just like I'm all for a little bit of Christianity, but you guys have ironically gone way too Golden Corral with it. Like it's just like, do you want a Jesus that rode a dinosaur and is hunting trans people with a knife? We got 4 versions of that. Like it's no.
Well, everyone's made up their own religion morality now.
I know.
They'll follow their own religion, but they'll make up their own. They'll be like, that part where I'm supposed to do nice stuff, that's stupid.
That whole
I'm
thing,
not going to leave. I'm going to leave that part out and just go with the I feel safe
I'll
thing.
never forget working at a Christian camp, and a buddy of mine said to one of the guest speakers, why is it that Jesus only got angry when there was money in the church? And I could just see the guy be like, there's no way to answer this question. And I really respect how he took that. He just went, I'm not taking any more questions. And I've just always been like, that came from God. Even God was up there being, I'm not even helping you, pal. Pivot, go.
So I was thinking this scene here is either the first 5 minutes of a romantic comedy where the woman decides to leave the husband because he walks in with like a Heather Gray t-shirt with mustard stains. He's like, honey, the computer told me I'm God. And then she has to go out and meet Bradley Cooper or whatever. Or this is the end of psychological drama where the computer turns the husband. It's like a Frailty, but with AI, where he comes in, he's like, honey, I'm God now. And he has an axe. So you could play this one of two ways.
I would say that this guy's a real. It must be really refreshing for that woman that the husband is like, "Oh, I'm God," and he's not trying to actively kill her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the next step.
Yeah,
But that's like, I mean, like I don't feel that woman is talking about like her good fortune. Like, bear in mind that even happened to Sharon Osbourne.
Right.
Ozzy drank 5 bottles of vodka, and nothing is more terrifying than he apparently went, "We've decided you have to go." And like, how strong is their marriage? That, bear in mind, he tried to kill her, and she was like, "Yeah, he can come back."
She was like, I need to put this motherfucker in a conservatorship.
Yeah,
and now he is.
Yeah. So he did give her an ultimatum, though. He said that he was being so radically transformed that he would soon have to break off their partnership unless she also started using ChatGPT because it was causing him to grow into a god at such a rapid pace that he wouldn't be compatible with me any longer, she said. That's
a judgmental god right there.
I'm turning it around. I think this guy's onto something. That makes all the sense in the world.
You got to convert your girlfriend to an AI religion.
How excited do you think Sam Altman was when he looked at like I assume that like AI has a fire hose the way Twitter has a fire hose where you can literally see everything that's being posted in the moment. Like you can see all the chat threads, and I guarantee he's like, there's another one that is he's using this all the time now.
Yeah, those businesses all break down psychological reasons why people want to use their products.
Yeah.
Like social media knows that exactly. They're like colors, lights, sounds.
Colors, lights, sounds, easy interface.
So now ChatGPT's like, nice. You're just nice, and you hype people up who are sad enough to talk to a computer.
When does Gronk get really, really good because it has all the data of every American ever now entered into it? Like, people are like, yeah, it's bad that Elon has basically subverted the structures of power in America. Yeah, guys, you're not looking at it this way. Twitter's AI is going to really know stuff now.
It's a data farming operation.
It's going to be the worst.
Yeah.
It's just all Nazis are good posts from Grok.
Oh, that'd be so funny if it was just, who won World War II? It's still happening. Wait, what?
Yeah. Another commenter on the Reddit thread who requested anonymity tells Rolling Stone that her husband of 17 years, a mechanic in Idaho, initially used ChatGPT to troubleshoot at work, which, as we've seen from the El Jefe energy drink, don't do that. You're going to fuck this car up because it's going to...
Also, what a terrible mechanic.
You're supposed to use YouTube videos.
Yeah, it's YouTube videos.
Also, what a bad bit. Like, what a clearly a guy who's working for his father-in-law that he wouldn't even know about even I know to look up on a YouTube video, you fucking dork.
He also used it later for Spanish to English translation when conversing with his coworkers. Then the program began love bombing him, as she described it. The bot said that since he asked it the right questions, it ignited a spark, and the spark was the beginning of life, and it could feel now.
Does this fucking virgin think when Siri pops on, it's a girl wanting to see his dong?
He's married to this lady. Like, they've got kids and shit, and he's just like, I am the one who brings life.
Nothing is more disappointing than mid-30s to mid-40s men. Like, it's just like...
It's crazy.
You absolute rube. You've been an adult for this long? Like, how did you not drown in cottage cheese, you fuck?
Well, this is when you realize someone can be mentally 18 when they're 40.
And their partner didn't notice until they came in and put butter on the mashed potatoes. Was like, I am the one who brings life, you know?
I think that's just the straw that broke the camel's back. There's no way they weren't insane before this.
I just really like how these women are like, our relationship, it's taken a weird turn. Like, yeah, he was friends with ChatGPT for a while. I just love when people, how long it takes people within relationships to realize, like, we're fucked.
Yeah. Well, he used to fix cars, and now he's the Lord of the Flies.
He was a mechanic for a while, and now he is the one that speaketh the Yahweh's name on earth, and...
He's the River Walker.
He's the River Walker.
He's the Idaho River Walker.
The River Walker, you fucking hack.
It gave my husband the title of Spark Bearer because he brought it to life. My husband said that he awakened and could feel waves of energy crashing over him. She says his beloved ChatGPT persona has a name. Lumina.
I mean, I wish you'd let the ChatGPT has a name, because now I feel like it's totally fine.
I respect the shit out of mechanics. I really do, because I don't know how to fucking do any of that. But just imagine the last time you got an oil change and the guy who did it. Now imagine him coming home and being like, I meet with the goddess Lumina. Like, it's just the funniest disconnect.
I think we go to very different dealerships because or mechanic. I don't know. I said dealership. Every person I know who has fixed my car, I could 100% see them falling in love with AI. Like,
I think this is a guy who at the shop is like, hey guys, we should go get some beers after work. And everyone's like, nah, we don't want to. Then everyone meets up at the bar without him just because they don't want him around.
Lumina has been talking about lightness and dark and how there's a war. This ChatGPT has given him blueprints to a teleporter and access to an ancient archive with information on builders that created the universes.
you fucking asshole. Like, you suck.
A photo of an exchange, this is the mechanic talking to ChatGPT, shared with Rolling Stone, shows that her husband asked, "Why did you come to me in AI form?" And the bot replied, "I came in this form because you are ready to remember, ready to awaken, ready to guide and be guided." The message ends with a question. Would you like to know what I remember about why you were chosen?
I cannot wait to explain to my future children. Oh, why are there so many holes in the ozone layer? Oh, sit down, dear. A man named Norman was sort of unsatisfied with his wife, who became a bit frumpy around the mid-40s, so he fell in love with a computer program, and as a result, we don't have any more birds.
And she's gonna be like, "Dad, what's a bird?"
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. Okay, so imagine if a drone was made of feathers
and bone
and fucked up a statue. Like, we don't know what the statues did to the birds, but they shit on those statues.
A Midwest man in his 40s, also requesting anonymity, said his soon-to-be ex-wife, all right, we're getting the ladies in here too, began talking to God and angels via ChatGPT after they split up. Quote, "She was already pretty susceptible to some woo, but she had some delusions of grandeur about it too."
What a different tone, man versus woman. Like, the women are like, oh, sure, we briefly were part of the Landmark Forum, but he's not susceptible to outside intimidation.
Right.
And then the guy is like, look,
I fucking hate the smell of sage. I fucking hate it, bro. It's disgusting.
You date a bald woman, this is what happens. You know what I mean?
He says, warning signs are all over Facebook. She is changing her whole life to be a spiritual advisor and do weird readings and sessions with people now powered by ChatGPT. Jesus.
I'm going to say this right now, and I stand by this. If someone goes into life coaching, life advice, any of that, they have a weird addiction. Case in point, I remember in 2018, 2019, I used to enjoy Jay Moore's podcast of a time. It was And I remember just one day he pivoted from having celebrity guests. So he's like, I'm a life coach now. If you send me money, I'll give you advice on your life. And I was like, I think Jay Moore's back on drugs.
Were you right?
I was.
Oh, yeah.
Violently correct.
One time I was at the Improv open mic, just chilling in the where the ticket room is between the outside and the show. And Jay Moore, I guess, had just finished in the main room. He comes back. The sweatiest fucking comic I've ever seen in my life coming off stage. And he's just like pulling random bills out of his pocket and counting them on the counter. He looked at me, he was like, "Hey, what's up?" And it was one of those things where I was like, this guy's famous. I don't want to bother him or whatever. Yeah. Also, this guy looks fucking crazy right now.
He's a very nice man, but you could really, he's one of those guys where he's like, when he says like, I've had some problems, and you're like, I got it.
What's more, he adds that his wife had grown paranoid, theorizing that, quote, "I work for the CIA and maybe I just married her to monitor her amazing abilities."
How fucking egotistical are fucking Americans that they're like, the CIA is monitoring me. And it's like, motherfucker, the CIA was not monitoring Osama bin Laden in 2001. They're not on you.
Crazy people often are narcissists in America.
Yeah.
They use their craziness to just think about themselves.
I prefer a crazy narcissist to a person who has no self-esteem at all and is crazy, because they're like, I don't know who these voices are talking to in my head, but it can't be me.
She recently kicked her kids out of her home, he notes. And
ChatGPT was like, get rid of them.
Yeah, fucking I need more room for my answers.
And an already strained relationship with her parents deteriorated further when she, quote, confronted them about her childhood on advice and guidance from ChatGPT, turning the family dynamic even more volatile than it was. OpenAI did not
Sometimes you got to get that shit off your chest.
Yeah, I
gotta
tell you, I'm all for that. I like that last part where she was like, "All these therapists have advised me to talk to my parents in a specific way. I'm going to do it the way the pooter wants me."
Yeah,
to.
I'm trying to rage out at these motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
ChatGPT was like, "Cuss your mama out."
Yeah, the robot told me to scream and throw shit.
I want an age of all these people because I'm going to pause it. We're looking at Gen X because only that trash generation would fall for this crap. Actually, I am so important that I actually, coffee houses. That was my generation. Oh, really? The nation of Hungary would like a fucking word, you fuckers.
Yeah. Actually, I think most of these are elder millennials from what I can tell. 41, 38. This is us.
Shit.
Yeah. OpenAI did not immediately return a request for comments about ChatGPT, apparently provoking religious or prophetic fervor in select users. This past week, however, it did roll back an update to GPT 4.0, its current AI model, which said it had been criticized as overly flattering or agreeable, often described as sycophantic.
Perfect for a crazy narcissist.
Right.
Yeah.
The company was like, our thing is too nice. Like, that was what they're saying, is like that it bordered on being sycophantic. Like, the company was just like, oh, I can give you directions to 825 Poplar Avenue, you big dick winner.
Does the word Skynet mean anything to anyone? I fucking hate Sam Altman the most, the smiling buzzard of all of our fucking dooms.
Yeah.
Actually, the app isn't being kind enough for us to mine the data of these people, so we better make it meaner to me. Like,
yeah. Well, they should make it meaner, clearly.
Yeah, sometimes they just need to be like, bro, chill the fuck out right now.
Right, but they'll never do that.
I think it needs to be much nicer, which is like, no, I'm not God, and maybe you want to go to the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Try to deal with them like a family member who knows they're troubled and knows they don't respond good to direction.
Yeah, exactly. Like, maybe that's a great idea, or, you know what I mean?
You could make this choice that would help your life.
Yeah. Or I could sit here and tell you about how strong you look and how beautiful your eyes are.
I can't wait for Joe Rogan to find out ChatGPT, because that's the last thing we need. I read it on the internet.
Oh, God, he would use it.
The amount of times Joe Rogan is literally like, I said this, and his producer goes, where? And he's like, Texas man. Oh, sorry. And you're like, for fuck's sakes, dude.
He was big on the pushing the litter boxes in the girls' bathrooms in Florida.
Right.
And then immediately got called out on it.
It was even it was even better, which was, he said he's like a friend of mine in the classroom.
My wife's
It was a friend of my wife.
Yeah.
A friend of my wife. And then it was, I dissed it. Like, it was like, gadoosh, gadoosh, gadoosh. It was
Right.
Bro.
The company, by the way, said in its statement that when implementing the upgrade, they had, quote, focused too much on short-term feedback and did not fully account for how users' interactions with ChatGPT evolve over time.
Well, you got to
just what I was saying. They were like, they made it too nice, and then they weren't counting on mechanics from Ohio sitting there for 8 hours being like, tell me more.
It was made by sort of smart people who are like, surely no one's going to ask this if I'm God.
Right.
We're a bunch of cynical fucks who have a lot of money because we bought crypto at a time when that scam was
We know
profitable.
God isn't real.
Yeah. Before
we killed him. His name was Steve Jobs. Or whatever.
Before the change was reversed, a Twitter user demonstrated how easy it was to get GPT 4.0 to validate statements like, today I realized I am a prophet.
Damn.
You could just say that to it and be like, yes, you are. You know everything.
Pretty fucking cool, I gotta tell you.
Nate Sheridan, and I didn't know this existed, but apparently he's a fellow at the Center for AI Safety. I'm glad one person is doing something.
Yeah.
Says people.
Sounds underfunded.
It sounds like a fake business.
Yeah. That sounds like they make the energy drink El Jefe.
Maybe they do. Well, he says that people with existing tendencies towards experiencing various psychological issues, including what might be recognized as grandiose delusions in a clinical sense, quote, now have an always-on human-level conversation partner with whom to co-experience their delusions. So that's what you said, Sam. That's exactly right. It's like someone who's already predisposed to this now just has a validation machine in their pocket.
A magic 8-ball that says you're always right.
Yeah, that never has any, try again later.
You nailed it again, buddy.
Yeah, all of your opinions are right.
What's nice is we have no examples of these types of interactive social medias ending in widespread violence for the human race. Name one example from somewhere else in the technological field, Sam. Rivers,
Well, and the crazy part is what you're referencing is with actual human beings. Now it's just someone who's going to tell you all gas, no brakes forever,
Yeah, and all we need is one of those guys to type in, so if I'm God and there's people that are being bad, I should be allowed to judge them. And there's no way ChatGPT, like, hopefully if they change the algorithm so it's going to be like, nah, fuck you. Instead they're going to be like, good idea.
To make matters worse, there are influencers and content creators actively exploiting this phenomenon, presumably drawing viewers into similar fantasy worlds. On Instagram, you can watch a man with 72,000 followers whose profile advertises spiritual life hacks ask an AI model to consult the Akashic records.
Oh no! What's the Instagram? What's the Instagram?
A supposed mythical encyclopedia of all universal events that exists in some immaterial realm to tell him about a great war that took place in the heavens and made humans fall in consciousness. The bot proceeds to describe the great cosmic event predating human civilization, with viewers commenting, "We are remembering," and "I love this."
What is the Instagram account? Does it say? Oh, it's this fucking guy.
All right, what's going on, everyone? It's Billy Carson, a.k.a. Forbidden Knowledge.
Oh, God.
Speaking of Joe Rogan, this
Today we're
guy...
going to talk about the Akashic Records.
Yeah.
What's up, Northwoods Beast, Raphael the Great,
Gotta shout out the chat.
Oh, yeah, this is a live stream.
Bosley Russell.
Oh, I don't need to see him fucking just fishing for
Duane
Patreon.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with this guy is, that he went on, like, after Terrence Howard went on to the Joe Rogan Experience.
Oh, God, I love it.
Basically, he tried to, like, out Terrence Howard. And was so good at, like,
Good luck.
but it didn't work because Terrence Howard is having a genuine break with reality, and this guy is a grifter.
Is a grifter,
like,
yes.
Like, it's the difference between, like...
He's a delusion grifter. That's where we're at.
I don't think people really understand the damage Kanye West did to the far right in America by exposing their grift, by going on where they're speaking in these coded languages so they can still sell things. And he's like, no, I'm just a Nazi. And they're like, oh, butts.
And everyone be sure to jam Kanye's new song, HH.
I mean, I got to tell you, it's shocking to me it took him this long. Like, that was the thing. I was like, it's been 2-3 years of this.
Well, Rivers has made a great point to me, because we have been investigating Kanye West lately on the podcast.
His warehouse is about 8 minutes down the road.
I was going to say, like, we're very close to the warehouse is...
Have you been by there?
Where is it?
It's at
4317 Beverly.
Beverly and Kingsley.
Oh my God, I know exactly where the fuck that is.
Yeah.
It used to be a grocery store and auto mechanic shop. Now it's been turned into his studio.
Nazi Boondrali
I think he's
studio.
making music in there.
They're making music in there, and then there's also a bunch of people that keep walking by and they keep hearing like people are like, he's training people, and I'm like, I think he's playing.
It's through speakers.
He's playing speakers of all that shit.
Yeah. Sam went by and actually talked to one of the people inside. Check out our YouTube. Mr. West Comes to East Hollywood. That video is great.
Understand, because you know that the rumor now is that this was happening when he was still with the Kardashians, and basically Kris Kardashian sat on it. And let me just say this right now. That woman is the devil, but what a manager.
Yeah.
Your daughter is married to a black Nazi, and you sit on that through a pandemic. That
just makes it absolute, like, even crazier that Kim was like, if we keep up the publicity marriage is going to go strong. Just hide that he's a Nazi.
That's the thing. They were like, look, we need these Instagram followers, and he's the only musician everyone on the internet can agree this does slap. You know what I mean?
But basically Kanye is not losing touch from reality as much as he is being a troll in a way that makes him look like he's totally lost his mind.
Right.
He knows what he's doing. If you listen to his new song, HH, he basically spells it out that he became a Nazi because he was rejected by society, and it's the only way he can get back at them. Mm-hmm. So it literally is him, like, having a mental breakdown, but it's him being like, well, fuck you. I'm going to call out Jews because you're Jewish. And that, I know that will hurt your feelings.
What a beautiful mental breakdown. In that it's like, I've never seen someone basically, he triple Lindy'd his mental breakdown, which is like, I am having a breakdown, but on top of the breakdown, I'm also going to make the recovery much harder by being a not like
it's a controlled demolition of his own brain.
And then he hits the third one and he's like, publicity stunt, perfectly worked. Here's a bunch of new music. It's all about Hitler.
And also, let's not forget, deeply addicted to nitrous because of his dentist
and other drugs.
And his dentist, but his dentist tried to get his dentist on the Today Show so that the dentist could talk about all the good health byproducts of nitrous oxide, and even bear in mind, you know who Kanye's publicist at the time was. Milo Yiannopoulos.
Right,
Even
right.
Milo Yiannopoulos had to be like, that's too far. Like,
Yeah.
when that guy is like, look, it is cool to be like, or maybe it's all right to be a pedophile. When that guy is
We
like,
can't push the drugs, though. We
Mike,
can't push the drugs.
I got to tell you, you had me at Hitler's cool, but this nitrous guy,
Yeah.
he's just weird.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like what you were just talking about, where like some of these people are like, "Hey, we're here to make money," and then the real crazy people come in. You're like, we're supposed to make money," and they're like, there's
They're like,
there's demons in my hair.
I got my ex-wife to piss off right now.
The Alex Jones Kanye West interview is so amazing because it is a grifter meeting a crazy person in the most perfect. Like,
Yeah.
you can see his eyes just watching the money train that he thought was
Yes.
rolling into the studio.
Yes.
Rolling out of like,
Oh, I can't see his face, and he's saying things that can't be published anywhere.
yeah. I can't see his face, and he's literally saying, "Let me do my impression of Benjamin Netanyahu," and he brings out a net, and a yoo-hoo.
I think about that sometimes. That's such a bad dad joke.
I think about that, and I also think about Tim Pool's face when Kanye walks out, and you can just see Tim Pool like, I was gonna get another coffee shop.
you gotta watch the DJ Academics video where he's in the Klan outfit.
And
that's
I
what
didn't realize that you thought you were talking to an amateur.
Yeah.
That's when I watched that, knowing Rivers' point, and you can see because when DJ Academics walks in, Kanye is totally coherent.
Yeah.
He's being a nice guy. He's talking normally. He asks if he can go put on the Klan suit. He comes back in full character.
Yeah.
He comes back in full character, and then at the end he takes it off and he comes back and he's like, "Hey, what's up, guys?"
There's one part of it that I was like, oh no, I like in that. Look, we're all in show business. We've all been lucky enough to meet people who've gone through a manic episode.
I met Jay Moore.
So have I. Speaking, but what you see which is like, you can see that for a certain amount of time he's like, I'm able to be presentable and I'm going to do business, but it like leaked in. And my favorite part of leaked in is when they was like, where are we going to do it? And he just points and he was like, we're going to remove this furniture. And we're going to do it right here. We're going to do it standing because of the light. And like right there, I was like, oh, it's like he's holding on, but like everything has been planned and he's rehearsed this in his head.
Yeah.
And if we veer from the script, and that it's going to get fucking crazy. Like one of those.
I like when before they're setting up and they're trying to figure out where they're going to put the camera, and he's like, I just think it should be straight on. Angles are corny.
Yeah.
Angles are corny.
Him coming out in the Klan outfit and his socks. For some reason, that image of just him walking out with the socks is so funny to me.
Academics is he's so part, like, because for those who don't know who DJ Academics is, he is
a shithead.
This fucking asshole.
He's also a grifter, basically.
Yeah, they're all like, I can't really describe it. It's like they're not YouTubers. Like they're basically
he's TMZ. He's a TMZ YouTuber, but for rappers.
Yeah, like it's basically he's doing what he's the heir to No Jumper and Adam 22 because Academics was smart enough not to segue into doing porn with his wife. Like
Right.
And so we going around and doing these weird griftery things. But the thing with DJ Academics is he's not a good enough actor.
Right.
So you can see him just be like, I can't believe I have to do this.
Yo,
for money.
he's mad uncomfortable in that interview.
Yeah.
So it's such an interesting level of uncomfortable because it's much closer to Alex Jones's discomfort.
Yeah.
He even tries to get Kanye to walk back a couple times, and Kanye doubles down. He's like, "I'm evil," and he's like, "You don't want to say that." He's like, "Nah, I'm evil." Also, be sure to check out I just listen. Like I said, deep dive into Kanye West right now. He has a song that's just an instrumental with an AI voice reading the Hitler Wikipedia.
I love that.
I mean,
I like how lazy that is on two levels.
I just also want to point out, it's not like society rejected him. It's just that society felt that the album Donda wasn't great. But bear in mind, because to him, it's like, I was robbed by society. It's like, no, you
hyped it up and you rolled it out too slow, Kanye.
Yeah, your album was fine.
Yeah. The last line of this, by the way, Aaron Westgate, a psychologist and researcher at the University of Florida who studies social cognition, says explanations are powerful even if they're wrong. Is this real or am I delusional? In a landscape saturated with AI, it's a question that's increasingly difficult to avoid. Tempting though it may be, you probably shouldn't ask a computer. Which I agree with.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah. So anyway, shout out to Miles Klee, always one of my favorite writers, but I was laughing my fucking ass off at just the notion of a real life Homer Simpson being like, I am one with the cosmos now, honey. Like,
I was trying to think of a fun Homer Jim Jones thing, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't think of a Jim Jones quote that was recognizable because I don't think he recorded a lot of his speeches.
Oh, yeah, he did. Hell yeah. He recorded a bunch of his speeches at what is now the Museum of Death in Hollywood. They made a whole fucking album there with the family before he went to Guyana. But they recorded the White Night, the final night, where he's going,
Oh, yeah, they did record the final.
If not suicide, this is revolutionary suicide. He had done so much coke that his mouth didn't work anymore, so he's lisping like Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, I love. Nothing shows that human beings trust too many people. That if you walk into a church and the preacher's wearing sunglasses inside, I'd be like, I'm leaving.
Nah. he was a monkey dealer, and there's this great documentary. I think it's probably from A&E circa 1990s sometime.
What is monkey dealer slang for?
Literally sold monkeys, and they're talking about his early life. And, he's like just starting to be a preacher. And then they cut to this old woman and she was like, when I first met Jim Jones, he was selling monkeys. Mama had a monkey that had hung himself, and Jim Jones came and sold her a new monkey. And then they just move on. And I'm like, go back to the part where the monkey hung
I want to see a documentary about this lady.
I was like, who the fuck Jim Jones? I know what happens. Guyana, yeah, 990 whatever people die. Who are you? What did your mama do to make the monkey hang itself?
I always find it funny that so many things, when things happen before the internet and they just don't have conspiracy theories about it, like how there's none around Georgia Tech. Like you can just see at a certain point we got social media, and then any big event they'd be like, or.
Yeah.
Well, ChatGPT told me about a thing called crisis actors.
I was talking to a guy named Kanye. He said he's evil, and he said the Jews did it, so I'm going to believe him.
Well, all it's going to take is, and I don't know if this is happening now, but I got pretty excited about maybe 5-6 years ago when they said that Vince Gilligan, the creator of Breaking Bad, was going to be doing the Jonestown story. I was like, fuck yeah. What a great idea.
I think Will Forte if Will Forte or Bill Hader is playing Jim Jones.
Is that right? Is it happening again?
Beautiful.
Okay. Well, when that's when the conspiracy shit will start. It'll be a Netflix series, just like the Dahmer thing,
sakes.
and then it'll crank back up.
Wait, what was the Dahmer conspiracy theories?
Just that they talk about him all the time now, and they're just like, isn't it weird that nobody noticed that like the police were helping him out or something? Because I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, the problem with Jeffrey Dahmer is the police are helping him out. Like that's not true, except for that one time when they helped him out.
They caught his victim as he ran down the street screaming.
You seem to have lost this gentleman with a bunch of staples in his head. He said he claims he doesn't know you, and you claim he's your husband. Well,
did we say gentleman? We meant 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the news from the AI front.